Good morning, everybody. Good to see you. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, and you folks at home also. One thing we reinforce and remind ourselves every morning when we meet is we are all friends here. There are no strangers when you walk inside that door. We welcome you to linger in this family of love. Hold you in our hearts the way you are. We are all friends here. There are no strangers when you walk inside that door. We welcome you to linger in this family of love. Hold you in our hearts the way you are. One more time. We are all friends here. There are no strangers when you walk inside that door. We welcome you to linger in this family of love. Hold you in our hearts the way you are. Yes, we hold you in our hearts the way you are. Now we'll get Rev Joe up here. Please.
Woo. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy March 8th already. It always throws me when the first Sunday is on the 1st, because it's technically a new month, but then when I come here in person, it doesn't quite feel like the second week yet. Does that make sense to you? Like it feels so. And we got 5 weeks this month, so we're going to have a great time. Welcome to our beautiful, loving community, growing in the perfect and highest and best way. We like to, after we welcome you, we like to see if there's anybody here who is new for the first time, and I also see some old friends here. Hi, Tina. Good to see you. Anybody would like to be noticed? Sue, I think you've been here a little bit. You just want to be re-recognized? That's okay. All right. I'm seeing some faces I haven't seen before, so are you just hiding? Okay. We won't put you on the spot. Just, what's your name again? Dawn. Welcome, Dawn. We're grateful that you're here, and Rick will come along, and we just have a little gift for you, which is a past, some information on who we are. And if you have any questions, let us know. We have our beautiful practitioners here to assist everybody if we need that, our coaches. We like to call them coaches. That's really what they do. And we want to take a minute to acknowledge our community members that are helping this morning. So thank you, Bill and Diane, for opening and setting up. And I don't know, Marina, if you were part of that. I just saw you secondary. But Marina's doing our tech online. So I'm sure she won't have the problems we had last week, but we got that taken care of. Christy Ott on our audio. You're like a roadie over there. You're just like, now you got it down. Now you're comfortable.
I got headphones.
Yes. And Alan, our musician. Let's give him a round of applause. And I don't have a call of order, so I'm just making sure I covered everybody and everything. I know. Zing. I know I looked at it. I'm feeling like it's song time, isn't it? Announcements. That's right. Thank you. I probably would be nice if I actually pulled up it. So let's welcome up Mr. Bill Smith, our fantastic, one of our practitioners. And
Yeah, thank you. All right. Today there will be no Zoom conversation because we're all here. Okay, no need to get on Zoom. The next in-person will be on the 22nd, 2 weeks from today. The guest speaker is Charles Smith, no relation, but Charles is going to talk a little bit about his upcoming class that we'll cover in a little bit later, and have some a financially based talk that day. Prayer requests. As Reverend Joe just mentioned, there's a couple practitioners in the house today. Sue Fulmer is in the back, I'm in the front. If you want to have prayer with either one of us today afterwards, that little area in the back is kind of a private area. We can have a 1-minute session or a couple-minute session if you'd like. Or if you want to do something outside of service, you can go to our website and reach either of us that way. So, Reverend Joe also talked about all the people that kind of pitched in to make this happen today. Christy, you really do look like a roadie over there. But anyway, so we've got soundboard tech that Christy's doing, video streaming tech that Marina's doing, setup. Diana has been doing a lot of the kitchen duty and the refreshments. So there's a lot of opportunities for that. Not to skip over the fine greeting that Anna does every time. And Jesse's her backup on that, so he fills in where needed. So, we have a lot of great volunteers. We're just looking for more. Not necessarily that we need them, but because we love them. We love to have new people working their way through and all that. So, anyway, come join us. Bookstores in the back. We have a growing collection of some spiritual. Some real gems back there, some really interesting books. If you take a few minutes to look at what we have, leave a love donation, take one, bring in a new one. That's kind of the way this library is working. All right. Speaking of facilitator, practitioner Sue Fulmer, she leads the woo-woo discussion. And after service, the fourth week, right? Yeah, the fourth week, she's going to have another workshop, going deep down a deeper dive into woo-woo and some of those kind of things. So join in 2 weeks if you're interested. All right, and we are about to start another class. This one is called Financial Peace University. Reverend Joe's going to talk a little bit more about that after his talk, because it is a fantastic course, and I know that we're going to have a lot of people jump in that one. And that's the Dave Ramsey inspired one, right? Yeah. So that sounds like it will be a great course to jump into. So, all right. This is the last weekend that we will be accepting core council applications. Is that true, or?
Well, applications until it's filled.
Okay, all right. So we do have an opening for.
I haven't checked it. Let's leave it at that.
We think we have an opening for a core council position, and whether we do or not, we're accepting applications for that possible position. So we got to check our bylaws and find out how many we're allowed to have. Yeah, and so.
You know what we're doing? We're just gonna make sure there's a technicality in the wording. So
Yeah.
I'm included automatically as part of the number we have or am I part? So we'll work that out. Either way, we will fit. If you want to assist us, we will let you in.
We'll find a way.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then our annual meeting. There's probably a slide coming up next. Will be April 12th. Essentially, a month from now is our annual meeting, and we will elect new members to the core council at that point in time. So that's why the timing is starting to close in. All right. Thank you.
Gears, and I apologize. So thank you, because you are a steadfast supporter, so thank you. We are going into, normally we do our Flames of Faith, and I thought we would do a little something different. So I need some help today. Would somebody like to help me today? Okay. We're going to have our special gonger. Do you know how to do that? Put out your hand. Okay. Take that. And then when you whack it, just make sure, give it a whack. See how? Perfect. So I'll tell you what, when I point to you, you're going to whack it once, okay? You're going to get her mic'd up. Ooh, roadie. You either look like a roadie, or I thought maybe a DJ. Roadie, okay. So with everything going on, I thought, yeah, you can listen to me, do what we've done for a while. I think it's nice to change things up. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is we're going to do a spiritual practice, and we're going to simply ground. So what I'd like you to do is first practice some breathing. So go ahead and guide yourself in taking a couple deep breaths in as fully as you can and full exhales out. We got to kind of first to get that momentum. So a few times. Now slow it down, but still breathing deep. Exhale slower. And I'm just going to continue to let you breathe. And I'm going to simply say some words. And before I even say a word, I want you to focus in on that heart energy. Put yourself right there. We did this last month, and it was very powerful. Which I did it last week, too, online. So just breathe and notice your heart. That is the energy center of your entire physical body. Many traditions say it's the seat of the soul. So continue to breathe. And now I'd like you to think about the word peace. Peace. And on your in-breath, bringing in peace. And just hold it for a minute there, or a few seconds. And then exhale peace. Continue to think about peace. Good. Nice. Continue to hold peace within our physical body. But what we know is that energy, that we are all one. Everything that we are aware of, this planet itself is one. Loving presence of the divine. Unconditional love. And we imbue that love in, as, and through ourselves and recognize it in everything and everyone on this planet. Peace. And I know as I allow that peace to build, it kind of naturally turns to love. And so let's think about love for a moment. Let's feel love within our hearts. Unconditioned love. There are no walls to this love, for love is truly the foundational fabric of life, of the universe itself. So you just breathe it in and exhale love. There are no enemies. There is only the one. And we start with ourselves. We start with that presence of love. Now that we are in a place of peace because we have released all limitations, all fear, all lack, and we are in the presence of unconditional love, now let us express that in joy. Pure joy. And it's okay to smile. Allow that joy to just widen your lips, lighten the energy in your body. You may feel your body tingling because you're releasing the resistance to any lack, to anything that is not love and joy and peace. We just let it go. We don't even have to know why. We don't have to identify how it came into our energy. We just simply love it and release it. Joy. And so I see a world that is peaceful. I see a world that is making decisions based on unconditional love. And I see a world and experience a world that is truly in joy. And now I take a last deep breath to anchor the peace, love, and joy in. Just hold it for a few seconds and give it back. We are grateful for the presence that is, and so it is. Thank you. Great job, Charlie. Let's give a round of applause for our helper, shall we? Good job. All right. Are you ready, sir? Take us away. Get ready.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning, here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred souls. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
this is. We worked really hard to get this perfectly right before. And we'll make it work. No, I seem to have lost my page as well. Found it. All right, today's reading is from the Science of Mind, page 146. It's entitled The Power Within. Through spiritual discernment, we see that we have within us a power which is greater than anything we shall ever contact, a power that can overcome every obstacle in our experience and set us safe, satisfied, and at peace, healed and prosperous in a new light and a new life. If God be for us, who can be against us? God's creative power of mind is right here. We have as much of this power to use as we believe in and embody. The storehouse of nature is filled with infinite good, awaiting the touch of our awakened thought to spring forth into manifestation in our lives, but the awakening must be within our thought. The word that we speak is the law of our lives, and nothing hinders its operation but ourselves. We may use this creative word for whatever purpose we desire, and this word becomes the law unto the thing for which it was spoken. We are given the power to sit in the midst of our lives and direct their activities. Strife and struggle are unnecessary. We only need to know, but we must know constructively. And now for the invocation. So as we come together for this celebration, I know that we do so in the presence of the power and the one true force, the one true force of good. And as in our little meditative session earlier, the source of joy, the source of peace, and the source of love. And I know that each and every one of us that are within the sound of my voice today are one with this Spirit, one with this true power in all ways. So I know that today's session is a stretching opportunity for myself. I know that the Reverend Joe's word brings out things in me that I know I would not know other than through today's experience. I know that the music inspires me, and I know that as we all are one, this is common for us all. So I just release my word knowing it is good, and it is. I let it be so, and so it is.
So this is a familiar song to us. Reverend Joe asked me to do this, and I thought, well, sure. I always do that. Can you do that? Oh, yeah, I can do that. Well, I couldn't decide if I was going to do Barbara Streisand's version or Willy Wonka's version, because Conway Twitty never covered it, so I couldn't copy him. So we're going to get Alan Stanley's version. Come with me, and you'll see, in a world of pure imagination, we'll begin with a spin, traveling in a world of my creation. What we see will defy all imagination. If you want to view paradise, Simply look around and view it. Anything you want to, do it. You want to change the world? There's nothing to it. There's no life that I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly want to be. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to, do it. You want to change the world? There's nothing to it. There's no life that I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly want to be.
Very good, Alan. Thank you. Give him a round of applause. That's a hard song to sing. A world of pure imagination. I don't know about you, but the 1971 movie is the best, in my opinion. Although the newest one, I thought, did a great job of kind of talking about how he got to be the Willy Wonka. So we're talking about imagination this month and what if, which is the monthly theme. And I'm going to challenge you a little bit in the sense that if you hear something I've said before, or even if it's the exact same idea, I'd like you to challenge yourself to see it and receive it in a new way. Because the past few months, well, since this year, we're already in March, I would say that's what's been happening to and through me, is I keep hearing some things, and it's almost like you hear them for the first time. And you're like, I knew that. But, and this idea, we have to be easy on ourselves, which is because we're learning in that spiral avenue, meaning I learned it when I was here, but now I've evolved a little bit, and I have to take a look at it again. It's kind of like the idea of if you've ever watched a movie, and you see it again, and you're like, I don't remember that part. And I can tell you that I've shared the story where I watched You Can Heal Your Life at least 30 times. But it wasn't until I found CSL that I heard her say that she was a practitioner. She said it. It's in the movie every single time. But I wasn't cued in because that's not where I was in my life. And so the idea, as always, is we're looking to have the best experience that we can have. And we're looking for the breakthrough. We may call it a miracle, although we recognize miracle as just being aligned with spiritual law. And I ask you to entertain the idea that what if that best life is not the new job, something different than you're kind of in right now, that it's literally right where you are right now, but just at a different degree. And so I came across, I've heard it before, about it before, and there's a book out there called, I'm going to say it right, Kabbalion, I believe it's called. It's Hermetic teaching, which falls in line mostly with New Thought, which is the umbrella of what we fall under. And you've probably heard one of its most foundational and popular phrases is the all is mind. The universe is mental. Now, that's not 80s mental as in, dude, you're mental. Okay? It's mental as in, we would say in CSL, it's consciousness. It's thought. And so the idea that consciousness is the very fabric that we are made of physically, but also the foundation of what we understand that which we call God or spirit to be. It is infinite, intelligent, unconditional, loving thought and presence. And then came across another phrase in the same book. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. And so at first glance, this, it sounds like a philosophical kind of statement, but it's actually, when you understand it at depth, it's how we change our lives. It explains why the life that we want is, again, not somewhere else. It's just us experiencing life at a different degree. And so the main idea, to simplify this, is, again, that opposites are not separate things. Now, I've used the analogy 100 times, the idea of the dimmer switch. And yet I still didn't quite pick up on, I got this in a new way. So, and again, receive it, like I challenge you to. So the idea of hot and cold are not two different realities, but the same thing, which is temperature, but experienced at a different degree. Love and hate are not separate energies, but again, on a separate intensity of that energy. And when we begin to apply this idea to our lives, it allows us to recognize, or as I like to say, recognize, our very selves in the way that we are using the creative process. Confidence and security. Again, they're opposites, but they're on the same plane. Just where are we finding ourselves at? Where are we expressing? They're not different worlds. Same, I would say, as success and failure. We say, oh, well, you have to fail to succeed. That's part of it. We say it's part of it, but literally it's the same thing, just depending on where you're at in the moment. And so we take this idea and we tend to see gaps. We see the life that we're living and the life that we want to be living. And we see that as a gap, but I challenge you with this idea that there is no gap. Because when we experience a gap and we believe it's not here in essence, then we believe there's something missing. Then we go into judgment and we make ourselves wrong or somebody else wrong or we just go outside of ourselves instead of readjusting the only thing that we can, which is ourselves. We can use the power of imagination and not to jump across the gap, but to realize, again, there is no gap. So that confident version that we want to be already exists. We have to, in essence, bring it out. So again, the dimmer switch. The light and the dark are the same thing, just to a different degree. In other words, if I were to turn off all the lights, the idea of light does not exist in the moment. It's just how much are we receiving, allowing in. But it's always there, just like the idea of electricity itself. Before we had any idea what it was, it always existed, always. Which means if that's an example, then everything we want to experience, which is, we know, energy and expression, whether physical or not, exists. It's, are we tuning into it? Are we at the degree to which we say we want to experience it? And so what if all we really actually needed was to shift degrees of where we are? Not even necessarily who we are, but that would come naturally. And we're going to hop into that in a minute. So the idea that we have the inner dial. And as we move along the scale, we need to make sure that we're not doing this in a forceful way, that we're loving ourselves through it, that we don't need specifically any classes or any rituals, not that they don't help, but this is innately who we are, and we will know this as it becomes brought to our awareness, and then as we're taught with our awareness, everything opens up. And so to stay on this, there's kind of 4 simple ways to recognize where we are on the dial. I'm going to put them up for you. First one is attention. I'm going to go through these kind of quickly because this is more review for us. But some main points. Your attention is where the hand of the dial is. What do I mean by that? Is what we focus on increases in our experience. If we're focusing on the dark, then we live in the dark. We may not be aware there's another option, and that's okay. There's a lot of things we're not aware of. We don't have to beat ourselves up about it. We have what we want to experience in the moment. And part of that is us judging ourselves, comparing ourselves to everybody else, and then we feel this gap and maybe experience that gap emotionally, but there still is no gap. So attention is not passive, and what I mean by that is it's creative. We don't have a choice of whether we're creating or not. So you hear me say we create by design or by default. Default is I'm not sure, it's automatic, it's habitual, and if I'm not aware of what it is, it's still happening anyway. And so our focus strengthens the mental patterns of either our problems or our solutions. Again, attention is the hand on the dial. Our inner conversations kind of brought that up. It's how are we speaking? Our words hold power. More importantly, how are we speaking when no one else is around? I don't know about you, but this week has brought up some deep challenges to me. And it's not always, I'm going to say, easy. But one of the things that got me through, A, is support, meaning my spiritual practices support. And B, is going to other people who can keep you lifted when you're not feeling so great. And I will acknowledge Reverend Rachel for doing that for me for this weekend. She's amazing. Great friend. And I'm so grateful that she sees the vision that we all hold here. So, another way of looking at it, it's going to sound negative, but I don't want it to be received that way, is our thoughts are anchors. They're kind of like pinpoints where we are on that degree. And so, if you're in a great place and you're experiencing the joy and the fullness, right, everything's good. It's nothing good or bad, but it's where you are, great. And if you're not, okay, then we have to go back to how we're thinking and how we're feeling. The third part is assuming. Now, this comes from, again, the Hermetic. We normally don't use the word assume in CSL, in the science of mind, but without going deeper into the philosophy, and that doesn't, assuming the wish fulfilled, meaning, if you've ever followed Wayne Dyer, thinking from the end, and I'm going to get more into this in a minute. But, and a lot of the Hermetics was also taught by, has anybody ever heard of Neville Goddard? Okay, yeah, so that was a big part of him as well. So basically be quiet and occupy, using your imagination, the experience that you want to be experiencing. Third is emotional movement. Again, emotions also reveal our current degree and how we're aligning with that, meaning out of love or out of fear. Okay, and one of the things we try to do too often is jump too much, in the sense of make too big of a shift in degrees, and that kind of works against us. Meaning, for example, I had to deal twice this week with suicidal risk assessments. Now, these people, when I'm doing this, are usually not in the best of places. So me saying, you know what, life is amazing, and it's love, and it's right here for you. Now, there is a gap there, right? They can't feel that. They're nowhere near that. Their degree is way. So meet yourself where you're at is what I'm going to ask you to do. Okay? Be okay with not being okay, because, again, it's until we recognize and own it. That's the second part of our arise. I'm aware of it. Now I got to own it. I got to take responsibility for it. But, again, you don't have to do this on your own. So the real meat and potatoes of this talk is I want to take a look at a manifestation process. And I watched this video, and, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not like I don't know this, and yet I don't know it from what I've learned. And so I want to share with you what I learned, which is a slightly different way, because, again, in Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes, we are open at the top. We could do things different ways to experiencing the same joy and love and peace that we are all looking for. So one of the first things I want to start with is the idea that when we have a desire, well, no matter what it is, it starts long before it ever shows up. It starts in our mental process. And we recognize that we can't force it. We recognize that the idea, though, is not always, it's not to create the thing, but to become the person who can receive that life that we're looking for. Peace, joy, health, wellness, honesty, integrity, relationship, and so on. So the first step, excuse me, is simply to allow the desire in. And I think it was Denzel Washington, I heard him first say it, and I've heard others say it, but it was Denzel that said, if you have a desire, that's God within you already saying it's there, meaning it's full and it's complete, and that's what you're picking up on. And so the first step is, and I'm going to put them all up ahead of time just for you to see, to allow the desire. In other words, when you receive it, we tend to start, and I'm going to own this, I also tend to start going into, well, is this realistic? Is this right for right now? Do I deserve this? And that one's literally usually more unconscious. I don't usually straight out because I'm like, my ego will say, yeah, of course yes. But what, another one for me, that's a big one. What if it doesn't work out? So it's trying to, step one, allow the desire that you feel naturally. It's there. You're like, I just have this urge, this intention to, without analyzing it. Because when we analyze it, we shrink it. You know, in essence, it's our higher self that's already coming from the fullness of that which is trying to express through us. So our job is not to ask how, it's simply to A, recognize that this desire exists within us, and that it already has a path, kind of like the seed that we plant. Everything's in that seed already. The rest is just, it is. And spiritual law just does its thing. Now keep in mind that desire, okay, which is coming from pure consciousness, cannot operate in an energy where there is lack, where there is fear, where there is a gap in your belief between where you are and experiencing what it is that you want to experience. And so another way of looking at the idea of a desire, it's the soul pointing towards the next expression of life. And I like the way this gentleman shared that. So again, resistance tends to be based in past fears that we are still holding on to, even though usually when we experienced it, it had nothing to do with what's now, but that's how our mind works. So experience the desire fully. So I'm going to ask you right now to close your eyes and just take in, whether it's easy, I would say not something that you've been working on for 20 years, but a desire that you have, just feel it within you right now. Just close your eyes. We're not going to hold it. I just want you to be able to work with something while we're going through these steps. Maybe it's a healthier body, maybe, and not something that you think you should. No. Something that you just want to, I don't know, you want to crochet something new. You want to do some woodworking. You want to paint. You want to sing. You've never sung before, but you want to take singing lessons. You want to get back to the gym. You want to go on more hikes. Something that's a desire within you. So step 2 is to decide from, again, the end. Decide what the end experience is. Feel free to open your eyes when you're ready. Or stay within there. And what is that end look like to you? So if it is, I feel like getting healthier, what is the long-term goal? What does it look like? You could be as specific or vague as you want. But again, don't start planning. Don't get the logical mind involved. Don't create a map, right? We're not trying to predict things that might show up. Just think from that end. Decide it. You get to decide. This is your desire. Focus on that final experience. Are you experiencing more peace, more joy, less pain, more laughter, more clarity, less confusion? Again, don't get caught in that trap of planning it. Just allow it to be. So again, so now we shift to 3. Normalize and anchor the feeling as it's already done. Now, this is something that, I'll be honest with you, is somewhat new to me. I've been taught and know that you're kind of like, yeah, what is it experience like? Oh my God, I never have to worry about money again. And what does that feel like? And I would work at, almost force myself to feel that. And this is a slightly different way. It says manifestation isn't about emotional intensity or creating a constant euphoric feeling. It's about, and this simplifies it, familiarity. I hope I said that right. I felt like I was drunk when I said that. Familiarity. Right? So it's that like quiet certainty of something you know. So that's what we practice. Not trying to almost fake it till we make it. And I believe you can do it. This is just a different way that for me feels more natural and in alignment for me. And so you take the scene from step 2, what is your end and goal? And you just allow yourself to get to the place to where it's like, oh, I'm living this life. It's natural to you, right? In other words, if you all of a sudden woke up tomorrow without pain, what would that be? Now understand, you're not trying to hold this forever yet. That we'll get to that. But first, just get a glimpse of what would it simply be like, realistically. Oh, man. You know what? It would just be so nice to have my head clear and wake up and not feel so just pulled in 60,000 different directions and to have energy at the end of the day. And when that a feeling arises, they say, Goddard says, stop. Don't force it. Let it stay as long as you can, but it's not about how long can you hold it. Again, it's about getting in there and going, yeah, that is my life now. And I welcome it and I receive it. Why? Because it's natural. It's less about the repetition and it's more about the acceptance, the allowing without resistance. And so in order to do this, well, we're going to have to shift degrees, as we were talking about earlier. And in the process, really what we're doing is we're releasing the old identity. We're at 4 here. Now, I don't know about you, but ego usually doesn't go quietly. Okay? But here's the thing. Again, if we're not trying to force it, meaning I just can't feel it, that's okay. Now, in the sense of where I said repetition, it's not about repetition. It's less about repetition. This is still something that you want to do, practice often, but not because you have to get somewhere. It's just because this is the new you. Like you're just easing on into it. So once you get to that point where you can, okay, yeah, this is my life now. Now you can become aware of the end point, and are you now in the present moment aligning with that end point? Now, of course, the answer is in the beginning going to be no, you're not. And this is where we have to take steps with love and caution and help. Because we have a lot of things that we've been doing for a long time, most of us in this room. I don't know about the little ones yet, but yet the key to change is awareness. That's why our purpose arise starts with awareness. We can't change anything until we do. And so, again, it's when something comes up and you're like, oh, this does not align with the new version of me, that's what you're going to say to yourself. This is here. That's no longer who I am. We're not making ourselves wrong or bad. We're not shaming. We're not guilting. We don't have to figure out, if you don't want to, psychologically, where all these things are anchored. All we have to do is consistently go, that is no what you're, in essence, you're taking the thumbtack out of a place on that timeline to the degree, and you're moving it to another place. And we're just going to ease on into it. And it's kind of like, I don't know about you, but if you ever run a long run or go on a long hike, you know, it seems like it's going to take a while, then all of a sudden you're there, and you got that view. Tony and I have gone on a hike, the Cathedral Rock in Red Rock, and it's long and winding and steep, and, you know, end in mind is I want that view. It's an incredible view. I mean, you can see pretty much all across the valley. It's quiet, and there's fun chipmunks. They're always there. You get to feed them. And you just, all of a sudden, you're there. But, I mean, if I just tried to, I got to get there now and try to sprint up that thing, I would never, ever get to that point. But we find ourselves forcing ourselves. That's not me anymore. That no longer aligns with the new me. And if you want to even take it a step further, what is the new you? Maybe pause if you have a moment and go back in and think from the end. So if I'm trying to manifest, I have a desire of more health, and I catch myself not really feeling aligned with, let's say, my regular meals that I eat all the time because this is just what I love, then maybe it's time to reevaluate that. Okay? Not force, choice. I went through a 5-day fast, no eating. Look at me. Do I look like someone who can really do that? But I did it. And trust me, I've done 3 days, but I started those when it was like I was kind of already full. You ever get to that point? You don't even want to eat anything, and you're like, oh, I might as well fast, right? 3 days was pretty easy, but I didn't plan this one out too well. And the 4th day happened to be Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah. And on day 3, I came downstairs to the smell of hamburgers with bacon. And I was like, I hate you. It was hard, but I wanted the end result. It was hard. It was challenging. But I just kept the end in mind and drinking a lot of water and black coffee. So it's the same process, little degrees. It's one step at a time. If we're looking for inner peace, and I am, and I recognize some of it is my own language that keeps me from experiencing it. Sometimes mentally, without knowing it, inner peace was kind of over there. There was a gap. And since I've recognized this different pathway to take, then now it seems to be a much shorter trip because I just go within and I'm like, oh, right. So step 5, live. What happened here? Oh, we got to plug in. You know what? If it lasts, it lasts. This is pretty much, I only have one other slide. Running low, not dead. All right. Live from the new state. So again, as we're identifying things that are no longer aligned, our old self patterns, we're welcoming what is new for us. So keep in mind, physical manifestation is energy, and it's usually the last thing, in essence, I look at it as like a comet. It has that long tail on it, right? And the comet may turn, but the tail for a while appears to be still going in alignment with the original degree. And so as things like, oh, I'm not there yet, don't pause and dig up the seed. Just keep declaring to yourself and to life, it's coming. It's, this is part of my old life shifting into the new. And that was it. And that's okay. We'll make it work. That wasn't a whole lot of a warning there, was it? It was kind of like, duck. So don't dig up the seed. Instead of retracting from, recognize that resistance and move into allowing. So again, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and go back in with that desire, coming from the end point, and just feel in your body if there's any point of resistance. You may not know why, don't judge it. It could be in your little toe. But that's natural. And that is information that you can now use to continue to make that shift to that new version, the higher version, the best version of you yet. It's there. If you didn't receive that, we have spiritual coaches and myself and Reverend Rachel to help you with that, and we also have classes that teach this. So it's, if as contradictions arise, again, don't panic. This belongs to the old shifting timeline. So we love it on out. We're not fighting it. We're not making it wrong. We're loving it on out. Step 6, which is follow the impulse, not the logic. This can be challenging, right? Because we just want to go, that doesn't make sense. That's okay. We either going to trust our limited logic or we're going to trust the infinite wisdom of Source. We get to choose. Sometimes it's a battle. I lose every time. Just going to let you know that. It may mean to all of a sudden you get an impulse. I don't know why. I just feel like I need to call Jesse. I just feel like, or email him, and just I don't know why. Now, logic, I go, I don't know. I haven't talked to Jesse, and you haven't seen him in 3 months, and blah, 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 blah. Or I could just follow through because you just never know. You just never know. Something within you knows. So are you going to follow that or not? You may feel like all of a sudden you need to go to the grocery store, and you're like, I don't really even know what I need. But you never know who you're going to run into or how you're going to meet or what happens on the way there or what happens on the way home. Or you may not notice it at all, but something shifting. We begin to follow that inner guidance because spiritual path is, that I'm aware of is never A to B. Well, it's A to B, but it's never a straight line. It's like, and then you're there. Because I have to go over here off the path that I thought logically I should be on in order to get something that's going to help me down the road and step by step. That's where we open to the higher intelligence and wisdom. So again, we're not forcing it. We're following the impulses. We're allowing life to simply guide us. And it's not, well, it may feel magical, but I'll promise you, as we come from the place of this is my new normal, then it won't be. You're just going to start following these nudges that Spirit gives us. The next step, 7, let the old world disappear. Now, when I first wrote that, I was like, oh my God, there's already some fear just right, disappear. Wait, what? Hold on, anchor. But isn't that what we're trying to do? Now, the eagle's going to go, be careful, you just don't know. Or do we? Do we trust that higher part of ourselves that knows? That is where we're getting this desire to change in the first place. Now, sometimes you may not even know you had a desire. Life just shows up at your door, and all of a sudden you no longer have a job, or somebody leaves your life unexpectedly, or. But there's that, if we tap back in and what is this trying to teach me, versus why is this happening to me, two very different questions are going to lead you to two very different answers. So, as we continue to love what shows up and allow it to go, the old world will shift. And it's almost like you don't recognize it anymore because you've made this my new normal, and this my new normal, and this my new normal. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, remember when I used to do that, act like that, live like that? I only made that much money. I used to wake and remember, I forgot because this is my new normal. And that's how it happens. Now, the last step, this is one great point he made. It says, reality shifts in a way that seemed impossible before, not because you forced anything, but because you stopped reinforcing what no longer serves you. Take that in. And in essence, we started reinforcing what does work for us. So as this happens, we're not shocked. Again, why? Why are we not shocked when that thing shows up for us? It's the next step. There it is. I'm at the top of the hill. I'm at the top of the mountain. There it is. It's kind of like when you're almost at the top of the mountain, you can see the top of the mountain. It's no longer a mystery. Right? You're like, there it is. Or if you've ever driven to a new city, it's on the map. It's got to be there. And eventually, as you get in, you're like, oh, there it is. I'm there. And then you kind of have this sense of relief as if it wasn't going to show up sometimes. I don't know about you, driving to LA, I'm just like, oh, thank God it's almost over. Because that drive, I let drain me. I have to say that. So it comes naturally because you have released the parts of you that were anchored in an older energy, and you've allowed yourself to move to a new energy. The last part of this is we've heard this before. People often receive what they want and then lose that and more. Example, I forgot what the actual percentage, I believe it's above 80% of lottery winners who win big lose what they've won and more. Why is that? Why do you think that is? Yeah, identity, right? Identity. Right? There's a difference between poor and broke. Right? One is a state of mind, one is a financial outcome. I'm broke, I don't have any money. If I'm poor, I see myself as poor. I act as poor. My decisions come from a poor mindset. So, this to me is a manifestation that is not just about getting excited till that thing is there. It's about slowly shifting our identity to literally allow welcoming in from a grounded place each and every day. And so again, repetition in the sense of getting to that place to where, okay, yep, this is it. And stay there until it feels normal. We're not trying to force it. It's probably going to take a number of times just to get to the place to where there isn't a resistant thought saying you can't because. But this is what is normal. And those are the 8 steps, and they're online if you need to see them again. The idea today is simply that manifestation doesn't have to be this mystical, magical idea. There is no gap. It's literally about shifting degrees of consciousness, shifting slowly and lovingly our identity from where we are now, which is fine, to where we want to be. Okay? That we're allowed to do that. You are allowed to live the absolute highest and best life that you can and you want. And if that means an absolute simple solitude, and that is where your heart sits, great. If it's in the middle of a busy city, great. If you're okay with your income and you're absolutely fine and in peace, wonderful. And if you're not and you'd like a little more financial peace, segueing soon, that's available to you too. So it's shifting quietly, it's shifting in truth, and it's recognizing it's simply 1 degree at a time. So, ending on, you're all well now. We are all well now, okay? And we are truly traveling in a world of our own creation. And that is the best thing about this teaching. And we're not alone. We have a mighty community here that is growing. And so please take advantage of that. Please call on us and use us, participate. And if you have any suggestions, we are open. I will put out at this time, we are in the process of beginning of building our new website. And what I would like to hear from you, you can email me at revjoe@cslsg.org. If you were, and maybe you are a brand new member, like what is the experience that you want to experience, particularly because they're saying like 90% of people will visit online before they come in person, right? 90 plus. So what would that online experiencing, what would it look like to you so that we can try to create something likewise? Does that make sense to everybody? And I do want your participation, please. All right, so we have this is going to be a little difficult, an affirmation. Yeah. To change it to what? It won't take too much time. Where are we at in time? 12:03, okay. Ooh, aren't you fancy? If we could do this, technically we don't even need that. Oh. Hi. A little delay there. All right, so there's the affirmation. If you don't mind, to stand together as a community. All right, so we'll say it one time through just to kind of practice it, and then we will anchor it in. So on the count of 3, 2, 1, divine life within me reveals new degrees of possibility every day. I turn the inner dial of my awareness, and my world responds in kind. All right, shake it out, breathe it in. got to amp yourself up, ready? But no, it's already there. It's natural, right? Speaking it. What, you can't see? I'll just step to the side. All right. Sorry. 3, 2, 1. Divine life within me reveals new degrees of possibility. Every day, I turn the inner dial of my awareness, and my world responds in kind. And so it is. All right. Anchor this in prayer. We'll do this. Have a seat, please. What I know to be true is life is amazing. Life is infinite, and it is an experience of my creation. That I open myself to that highest knowing and recognize that it is all truly one, expressing, and that there is no gap that I have to hurdle, that it's all right here in the moment. I use the power of my imagination. I use that flow of creativity. I recognize it all coming from a source of non-judgment, of unconditional love, of peace, and of joy. I welcome in the new awarenesses that pop up without judgment. I recognize I'm always doing the best I can right here and now, and yet I am open to improving my experience. And I allow others the freedom to do the same. I absolutely go within, and as I feel this love in my heart, I just, boom, I share that with the entire planet. And I envision a world right here and now that we walk in peace, where we acknowledge each other's differences and recognize it's all from the same source. And that creativity is expressing itself as one through the many, and it is all perfect. I recognize that love within myself, that it is a personal relationship with Source. And I take time each and every day to commune with the presence of unconditional love, of peace, of joy. I am grateful for this community in St. George. I'm grateful for the knowledge that Ernest Holmes and all the others have brought to us for self-empowerment, to recognize that there is no separation between that which is God and that which I am as an expression of. What an opportunity to truly live fully and deeply from this heart energy, knowing that creative source is simply unlimited, simply loves me for who and what I am, even when I falter, even when I fail, even when I come up short. It doesn't judge. It only loves. And it can only love because that's all it knows is love. And so I let go of my thoughts and experiences of anywhere there is not this love expressing. I release that. I call forth the love to shine through every situation that I am aware of, every person that I am aware of, and know truly that there is no gap. It is simply a degree in my awareness. And then I do about the work of releasing any thought, belief that is not aligned with that spiritual truth. I am grateful for my imagination, and so it is. All right. Maestro? Song?
Oh, I did get off the hook. Yeah. So I have a reputation for not exactly singing the lyrics that somebody posted on the wall. I refer to that as paraphrasing. Ooh, look at me, I can paraphrase this song. Wait a minute. How'd you get that up there? I thought I had the power. I know I do. I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there ain't nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want. I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there ain't nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want. I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me. Every day I'm wasting my time thinking that someone else is gonna do it all for me. If I can get up, get out, get it, just get started. Take one step toward my destiny. I'll define my career action, clear intentions, declare what will be and what should come to me. I've got the power to be any dreams come true. I've got the power, there ain't nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want. I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me. There are days when I feel no good, days when I don't even want to try. But when I stop, look, listen, and surrender, I hear a voice of truth I can't deny. It says, you know you can do it, just get down to it. Have faith in yourself and wave it through. I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there ain't nothing I can do. I've got the power to be anything I want. I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me. In those times when I feel frightened and it seems like I just can't go on, I've got to look deep inside, 'cause that's where I find it. The power, the power, the power inside of me. I got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there ain't nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want. I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me. Woo. Thank you.
All right, well done, sir. Changing screens every other second. You got through that one. We got to throw some hurdles in there for you every now and then. All right, I believe we're at our time of offering, and so we do practice the law of circulation, of giving and receiving. So if you're new or you're not, just to remind you, we have our offering bowl to your left, my right. And we do have affirmation cards, so as you give, please receive and practice the affirmation and pass that along as well to continue the circulation ongoing. And I know many of you have already given online, and that's okay. Please continue to go up and receive your affirmation card. And we do have our offering affirmation, maybe or maybe not. It should be up there. It's a slide. Looks like I might have my back. So let's see if that works. Because it's on that one. I don't know why this TV shut off. Come on. Behave. Don't go back to TV. Come on. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Yep. We're not watching reruns. Okay. So let's say our affirmation together. I'm going to get out of your way. Together, I am overflowing with love and abundance. I give from the source of my being, which is rich and unlimited. With joy and excitement, I share from this overflow. In return, the universe gives back to me in infinite ways, channels, and means, and so it is. And so we'll take a few moments to do our offering, and we'll listen to the beautiful Alan Stanley.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Grateful, grateful. Join me in blessing our offerings. And just know that this is a perfect expression of the divine supporting our beloved community. We know that it does good works for our specific community here at CSLSG, as well as we give to home office and the local area around in southern Utah. So as we give, we also share from our overflow. We are grateful for each and every offering and know again that it does only good work. And so it is. So it is. Okay, I believe. No, me. Yep. Can we have the slide, please? Maybe not. That's okay. So I want to talk to you about, we briefly mentioned Financial Peace University. Charles, that's Charles, our treasurer, he's going to be the main teacher in that. I will tell you I'm definitely going to be participating. It is a class. It is led by a gentleman named Dave Ramsey. Has anybody ever heard of Dave Ramsey? Just give me a nice, many, okay? So he's got a podcast like ongoing forever. This class, I took it 10 years ago. It is a 9-week class. It generally will last about an hour to an hour and a half. The extra half depends on how much we talk, how big the class is. The idea is recognizing that one of our biggest sources of stress in people's lives is money. And money is a spiritual expression. That's why we're bringing up this. It's called Financial Peace University. It's going to begin Tuesday, April 14th. And as far as I'm aware, we'll run consecutive Tuesdays. I don't think there's anything going to be that will prevent that. I will let you know that it is, Dave Ramsey the class is taught through biblical principles. So I'm asking you to have the idea that we recognize the Bible as a source of spiritual truth, just not always in necessarily words. So, and I know it's been revamped since I've taken it. So it's idea of what is he really trying to say. I don't think when I took it, and I took it with my center in Las Vegas, and I know many centers use it because they've actually made this an accredited class. We recognize all faiths, all paths, but I just want to put that out there in case you get triggered by certain words. I still would like you to take the class and not let that prohibit you from receiving, because it's a wonderful class. You're going to learn how to master a budget, pay off debt, invest for the future, and become a more generous giver. This class is for anyone who wants to learn how to manage money better and become a better steward of their money. If you're interested in the class, I want to say. So I want to share with you, Tony and I took the class, it was like 10 years ago probably, right? Probably, maybe a little more. And at that time, we had just got done with the bankruptcy. Still didn't own our own house. My parents helped because, I had to have a house, and they helped me walk away from one, get into the other. My credit scores in the 500s, it was pretty bad. And this course helped me get us get back on track to where we now have a savings account. I'm now in the almost 798 credit score, although he's going to tell you he doesn't care because the perfect credit score is 0, according to him, and he'll explain that. And so, the principles, I will tell you that we introduced this to my son when he was about 16, 15, and he's phenomenal at it. And his wife, hopefully Julia, should be able to attend as well, because they're newlyweds and they're starting off and they want to make sure that they have all the best information. This has nothing to do with age, and what I mean by that is you're not too old, and I will say you're not too young if you're a young adult, or even, I would say, a teen. So this doesn't have to be just for our members, please. Like, this is open for everybody to share. You know, it's not even just if you're struggling, and we are no longer struggling, and yet if I can find a way to continue to dive into the depths of prosperity and abundance, then that's what we're going to do. And so, as a matter of fact, we remembered something that I had learned in that class, and we just started implementing that again last week, and it's already paying dividends. So I can't talk about this class enough. It will be, I did say Tuesdays starts at 6, so 6 to 7, 7:30, again, depending on the amount of discussion. It will be on Zoom. And then we'll have more specific information, but if you're interested in it at all, we ask you to email Charles. And so his email is simply charles@cslsg.org. We'll have that up, and I think it was already in the newsletter, but we'll do it again, make sure, because I think we might have had the general email the first time, so we want to make sure that Charles gets it, because he's going to help us getting our accounts. You'll actually log into your own account and take care of your own stuff. So I will be happy to answer any questions afterwards. Any quick? Was that good enough for this time? Okay. So that's the other part, is Charles is going to do the next in-person service and go into, because I don't know if you know that, but he is a financial wizard. So you can see the pointy hat. He's a wizard. And so we're going to really focus on that, because, again, there's a lot of stress with what's going on, specifically right now, but always. And it doesn't have to be, right? It's just, where are we in that degree? So that is all I have to say about that. I am absolutely grateful for your presence and for your support and for your love. And we will rise together and sing our closing song. And if we can, I would love for us to make a gigantic circle. If you're, please do so. And you got that? Okay.
Well, while you're all gathering together, I'd like to throw in a little plug for myself. I not only play here, I play around town. And this coming Thursday from 7:30 to 9:30, I will be playing at George's Corner on the corner of Main Street and the Boulevard. That's George's Corner, 7:30. Ready? Circle the wagons, folks.